This is our new fuel pump here. Just down at the local auto parts store. You see, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just an aftermarket pump, so you might see a few differences on it, but it'll work the same. Okay, go ahead and remove the old O-ring and the fuel tank here. We don't really want to reuse them if we got a new one to go in. Make sure you use the right size. This seems to be the same one. This is a smaller one, so we're going to use this one here. Pump slot here. And we also got a new filter here for the pump. It's an aftermarket one also, so it's a little different than the factory, but it'll work the same. Sit on here. Plug our ground wire in here in the proper location. And the gauge wire. Okay. Plug the wiring harness back in. Now this is also something you want to be very careful with when you put it back in, is the float here. You bump it, it's really easy to knock out of the sending unit, and then your gauge will just read full all the time. I've done that a few times, so don't want to do that. So you just kind of want to angle it in here as best you can. Careful with the flex line, it can break easy if it's old. Just want to make sure your O-ring here is seated correctly. You want these tight, but you really don't want to crank them down too much and break them off. Alright, now we can put it back in the car. I wanted to point out that this extra line we have here that you might have noticed is the evaporative emissions line for the sending unit. And this is a common issue with these cars. Everyone I've taken out has come apart like that. And usually what I do is just take a piece of tubing or something that'll fit up in there. This one's a little small, but it's all we had laying around, so we're gonna use it. I'm gonna put it in here, throw a clamp around it here, and tighten it down. I believe it's a 3/8 line. Slide the tank back in here. Right down the best you can. Try to get our lines plugged in here. Just click on that. Make sure they're secure. Okay. Alright, once I get the tank back up in place here, I'm going to go ahead and reconnect that evap line. wires back in. See that? Now we can go ahead and put our fuse back in for the fuel pump here that we took out at the beginning. We'll give it a start here and see what happens. Of course. And it's alive.